Hi everyone, welcome. Wow, it's a really blustery day here in Cape Town. So as much as I love doing these videos outdoors, I thought it would probably be better to do it inside today. So forgive me if you notice me wearing the same outfit in the next couple of videos, because I will be recording a couple of things today. So I wanted to chat to you today about something called control dramas, or the Karpman triangle, as it's officially known in psychology terms. What is this? Well, it's something that we develop right from when we are first born. There are three roles, predominant roles, that we will choose to adopt as we develop as a child into adulthood. They are either the victim, the persecutor, or the rescuer. Now, this depends on what our experience is of our first few months and years of life. So if we experienced our first sort of part of our life here in the physical world as being a victim, if we perceive ourselves, this is completely unconscious, remember, because this is a baby, and at that stage we don't have any other way of communicating or perceiving the world other than through our emotions. We don't have a voice, we're not mobile, so our emotional world is what is governing us. So if we are crying and crying and crying and nobody is responding to us, we're hungry but we're having to wait and wait and wait for our food, or we're crying and mummy keeps saying, I'll be there in a minute, I'll be there in a minute. We don't understand at that stage what a minute means. For us as a tiny baby, that can seem like an awful long time, and in that moment of feeling completely vulnerable and at the mercy of life and this other person that we are totally dependent on, we can slip into feeling like a victim. And that role, it's an archetypal role, can be the dominant archetypal role that we play, because it's all a role that we, at an unconscious level, we choose to perceive ourselves as a victim, not only as a child, but going forward in life. It's just the way we look at life, the way we perceive what's going on. It might be that we, as we get older, we start looking for people to validate that feeling of being a victim. Now, the way to do that is you either attract people who are in a rescuer mode. And what you do is, again, this is all unconscious, you play the poor me, so that people who are very empathic and like to rescue or save people from themselves will then come into your orbit, and you'll be able to come together to perpetuate this role playing, one being the victim, the other being the rescuer. But at some point, what often happens is one or the other of the role players, either the victim or the rescuer, for whatever reason, becomes frustrated with playing that role. So maybe something happens and they move into what is called the persecutor role, the aggressor. So then the whole dynamic shifts. Maybe the rescuer then goes into the victim role because the victim has moved into the persecutor role. The whole dynamics shift. And this is what happens. You know, you keep shifting these roles as you go through life, depending on what's happening, what your needs and desires are. If you're not getting your needs and desires met, no matter how unhealthy they might seem, it will determine which of those three roles you are playing at any given time. So once you become aware that you are caught up in these control drama triangles, it's much easier to then figure out, where do I really want to be? Do I want to be stuck in this never-ending cycle of these three roles, or would I prefer to step out of that drama triangle and start taking responsibility for my life, start getting to know the real me, not this perceived me, the victim, the persecutor, or the rescuer. Get to know who I truly am, and then start stepping more fully into the characteristics that I was inherently born with. Things like courage, curiosity, just getting curious about, why do I behave the way I do? What is it in my life that drives these particular archetypal behaviors? And once you start going down that route, you'll be amazed at how your life will begin to shift in very positive ways. You will start feeling a lot more empowered. You will feel courageous enough to have boundaries, better boundaries, and you will become more discerning about the kind of people that you allow into your life. You'll make sure that the people that are in your life are beneficial for your well-being and your personal growth. Okay, so that's just a very, very short explanation. It's part of some of the things that I teach. Obviously, when I'm in teaching mode, I go into far more depth, and it expands into other areas as well. But for now, that's a little snippet for you, and I hope it's helpful. Have a beautiful day.